Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Freedom Radio Hour. I'm your host, DJ Adam Cruz, and I got my co-host here,
Eddie Nicholas. What up, good people?
That's right. We're live and direct. Where?
Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan.
I'm so excited to be here, man. We had a great response from our very first episode, Season 1, Episode 1.
Oh, we did?
Yes, we did. And if you haven't tuned in or you missed it somehow, make sure you check out freedomradiohour.com for the latest in terms of what we talked about. And, of course, all the good music. We had some killer records tonight, man. I'm so excited, and I couldn't be happier to be here, Eddie.
Oh, me too. Good to be here again.
Exactly. I had to break it down because I was like, we got to get even better and better with these topics. I'm really psyched to talk about what we do. Here at the Freedom Radio Hour, we want to bring you the latest in music business news and trends from around the world. Take, for example, today, I was coming across, right after around the Labor Day weekend here in the U.S., they released Beatport.com. There's one of the biggest dance music websites out there, I think. They finally released their sales chart for ever. And what they did is they decided to do it by genre. And I just thought it was such an interesting thing, you know. First of all, I was like, of course, wanted to see where my music is, because my personal flavor in terms of house music, we're all house heads here, but we like our house a certain kind of way.
Soulful.
That's right. Lots of soul. We want to hear a good driving beat, interesting to the ear, and we like to hear music and instrumentation in some way, right, Eddie?
Yes, we most certainly do.
And so that's part of our Jersey thing, I think. We love the vocals in New Jersey, you know. But I just want to really kind of break down where Beatport lied. You know, first of all, I think it's great that they put out an article because, or a report of some sort, because TrackSource, which is where I get a lot of my soulful music from, they have yet to issue any kind of report like this at all. So I feel like we're like kind of driving in the dark a little bit when we talk about competitor sites like TrackSource. But Beatport, they put out their top selling genres by year. And their top number one. What would you think if, in terms of house music? You know how all those categories back in the day, it wasn't no categories.
No,
it wasn't
no
even
categories.
house. It was club music.
It was club, exactly.
Yes, it was club music. But now, when then house music came out, then it was house music. Then over the years, it's gotten to become all these categories, subcategories,
and subcategories.
Yeah, Eddie, name off a couple if you can name off a few.
Ooh, you got deep house. You got EDM, electronic dance music. You got dubstep. You got twirl step. You got this step. You got that step. You got so many steps, you don't even know what's going on anymore. So, you know, sub, as I say, sub categories.
Right, yes. So Beatport put out their top-selling genre by year, and this is the sub categories we're talking about. The number one, deep house.
Well, that's nice, but when we're talking about deep house, what are we talking about?
Exactly.
Well, actually, what's second, Ray? You have deep house, and then what's followed by deep house?
Tech house.
So that would be those EDM boys, right?
That would be a little bit harder, yeah. Then you got straight techno, came in third, and then house, which is where they're pulling all of our stuff. It's just called house. And so we're like fourth in the list.
Okay. Then my question is, what is the difference between deep house and house?
Exactly. It starts to get real slippery slopey now here at the Freedom Radio Hour, because we want to be able to understand this properly. I've been dying to get some eyes in terms of what we do. And what I mean by that, fiscally speaking, we run labels here, we write songs, release songs, and we want, from a business respect, we really want to know how our records fared in the market. It's one thing to get reports that we always get, download reports, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we want to know how it's broken down further. How do we compare to our peers in the market? And we never get the eyes into how we fared as compared to others in our world, you know? So I thought it was real fascinating that Beatport went out and first of all published the list, because it leaves them open to a lot of problems. Because, you know, people have a million things to say like this. My argument, just like you're inferring, I think it's miscategorized. It's hard to tell which ones are which. Even the way that the subcategories lie now, I think it's deceiving. So we're never really going to know. And of course, it leaves them open to controversy. And of course, Beatport already had some.
Well, the one controversy I have is that Adam Cruz and Eddie Nicholas's records, they never popped up on any of their charts.
Word up. But you know what? I have to give it out because Beatport, when I dropped my second album, they chose it as like a staff pick, which don't mean nothing for my bottom line, but it was cute. So thank you, Beatport, for choosing the Emo Spiritual Traveling way back when as a staff pick. I think it was like under Lounge or something. I was like, at least I'm under something. I'm under somebody.
One of those sub categories. See? I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah,
let's continue on. Let's go.
Yeah, so House is number 4. Electro is number 5. So Electro, we don't know Electro at least I don't know Electro very well. We would think it was more electronic beats instrumental, but somebody can chime in. Do us a favor.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Go to freedomradiohour.com and go ahead and school us. Leave a comment on all that we're posting and let us know, hey guys, you had it wrong. Electro is this, and school us because we want to learn.
Exactly.
So, rounding off the list, it ends with progressive house, trance, drum and bass.
Okay. What is progressive house?
I think it's progressive house, like a little bit faster tempoed, maybe more minimalistic, but more driving. Like I thought like Loco Dice would be more like a progressive house. I don't know.
Okay.
You went to their Opium Gardens party in Miami, didn't you, last year?
No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before.
Oh, okay.
It was the year before. And again, Loco Dice. See, that boy is phenomenal.
Yeah, shout out to Loco Dice.
Yes, shout out. His set was amazing. And again, I don't know if that's considered, what was it, what you just said, techno trance?
Well, no, it's progressive house.
Progressive
yeah,
house?
Whatever it is. So rounding off this list, you go drum and bass, then breaks, and then dubstep. Poor little dubstep. It was like the new big thing. Even pop records had dubstep in it.
Okay, excuse my ignorance. What is dubstep?
Okay, so dubstep takes the beats that we're into, right, and makes it half, and it becomes very dramatic and theatrical. They're using a lot of effects. A famous effect is like a wah-wah type of effect over the beat. And what pop artists, they took notice, and what they did was they started to infuse that dubstep sound into their pop music. Case in point was Taylor Swift. One of her last big hits had a big little dubstep thing into it.
Now you know Adam Cruz. I don't be listening to no Taylor Swift.
But listen, Taylor Swift, she's like the biggest thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because see, when you say dubstep, I'm thinking, okay, they took a little bit of reggae.
Think of like Skrillex. These are like think Skrillex and other artists like that. They have like a certain flair. I'm gonna play you some dubstep.
Okay,
because you might want to mess around and make a dubstep record.
Well, you know me, I'm open to anything, so that goes without saying.
Exactly. So unfortunately for the article, it sort of spells the demise of dubstep, since we're talking about it. Because the way it says it, it had its resurgence in around 2011, and then it plummeted to 2014, where it's the bottom, the end of the tonal pole. But you know what? That's misleading, too, because Beatport's only one site. Beatport's only representing a niche market, and it's not representing the entirety of it. I would say if iTunes released a dance chart by genre in terms of sales, how that would fare, just because they're a bigger pond, and I just want to see what they're talking about.
You know me, all this is cute, and the bottom line for me is Billboard. That's where I would want one of my songs to be placed, in whatever subcategory that they have. Billboard to me is the final answer for me.
I couldn't agree more. I did have a stronger feeling and sentiment about Billboard than I do in recent years, because they had some controversy. Billboard has been accused many times of what we call as payola here in the States, where you pay to play, pay to chart.
I'm sure.
And let me tell you, circling back to Beatport, while they were releasing this top-selling genres report, they're in the midst of controversy because someone evidently, or a group of someone's, found a way to hijack or hack into their website and basically mess with the chart positionings on the website.
Move those little lines.
Yup. So if your record was...
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, if your record wasn't selling like at all, but you managed to find a way to manipulate the data so that you appear to be, say, on the top 10, now you're looking like the big guy, the big girl, So now Beatport had to come out, and their response in part was, well, if you're doing that, you're messing up the integrity for the other artists that are really trying to, blow up, which is a real nice sentiment, except, they're full aware
that ain't no sentiment, because first of all, you have people going to this site, and from my understanding, these sites are supposed to be secure.
Right, because you are giving your credit card number.
Exactly.
Let's not forget.
Because now you're telling me they can go and manipulate that, and we all know we have hackers, so that's nothing surprising. Yeah, are you one of them?
No. Are you watching the Freedom Radio Hour? We better leave our website alone.
So, it does not surprise me that was done, inferred to being done. It does not surprise me because in this world of technology today, any and everything is possible.
That's right. And the other thing, too, that was really interesting about this was how far down our music has gone when it used to be the number one, the biggest thing ever. And we wanted to gauge it from a DJ that's playing all over the place, what their feelings are. Like when a DJ that's playing all over, they really start to gauge what the sounds are and what's popular in terms of what we're into. So I couldn't think of a better source these days than Duce Martinez.
What up, Duce Martinez?
Yeah, exactly. D-Wild Music at D-Wild Music Radio. Our boy Duce Martinez is hard and grinding on all the circuits around the New York, New Jersey, and also all over the world because CeCe Rogers and Duce just returned from a trip to Switzerland. So our guys are global as well.
Yes.
So with that in mind, we have Duce Martinez on the line, and we want to be able to ask Duce, when you're playing out at all these clubs, what's the kind of sound that you're hearing? I know you were telling me a couple of things, like, the tempo's slowed down, and there's not as much focus on vocals. Talk more about that. What are you hearing when you play out in the gigs? What are the other jocks are playing, and what are the people responding to so that we could know here?
And Mr. Duce Martinez, the turntable, wiki, mix master.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Stop laughing. No, listen, all jokes aside, most of the places where I played, they're into a lot of deep house. Meaning the tempos have slowed down from 127, 126, 124 to like 118, 120, 122. And the way they're doing it now, very minimal. Not too much vocals, not too much choruses, not too much solos. Actually, it's very seldom you hear solos. That's because we come from the soulful house, and that's what we like. But when you're playing abroad, the new generations, which are the young kids from ages 19 to 30 and 32, 35 years old, they're listening to that 120 BPM. Let's just go back to how back in the 80s, it was all roller skate music. That's what I call it. You know what I mean? And they are embracing that type of genre of style at this point. You know what I mean? That's from where I'm playing. I'm just speaking on how I play and where I'm playing at. I'm not speaking on behalf of any other DJs that are out there doing the Afro stuff, or they're playing the soulful stuff, or they're playing other genres of music. But from my experience, where I'm playing at, like Switzerland and other places like that, they're catering to that, and these are young kids.
All right, I love Duce's comments on all this. Of course, if you want to read this article, stay up to date with all that we're talking about, make sure you check out freedomradiohour.com for the latest and greatest.
What else you got for me, Adam?
Well, we have time for one more piece that I just want to talk about real quick. What I wanted to mention was a digital music news article that just came out right after the Labor Day weekend, and my heart just sank. But we kind of know because the writing has been on the wall. So here in the States, we definitely pay attention to what these websites and these download sites are doing in terms of sales, because it affects what we're doing.
Yes.
And we want to be aware of our business. So this article, the headline was, iTunes song downloads will drop 39% in 5 years. Let me repeat that. iTunes song downloads will drop 39% in 5 years. And my heart sank, because what it's basically saying is that people are not buying music while they're hearing it more than ever before.
But they're not buying
it. And why? They're saying it's in favor of a streaming service. So our SoundClouds, our YouTubes, all those kinds of websites where Spotify, we can listen to music all the time over and over again without having to shell out little to no money to do that, because Spotify is a subscription service, so that's like $10 a month or less, and then YouTube obviously is free, so you could just search to your heart's content for the latest songs that you want to hear. The quality's terrible, but a lot of times people don't care. They just want to hear it, and so I was really touched by that. What do you think about that, Eddie? It's going to drop nearly 40%. So by 2019, it's not going to make no kind of money.
Well, I ain't making no money now. You making some?
Not anything real.
So that dropping 39%, that actually it doesn't mean anything to me because I haven't seen anything translated into any dollars or anything. I did get a check from ASCAP if that counts for anything, but as far as any of these websites, any of these things like TrackSource, Beatport, I've received nothing or not have seen anything, and I'm quite sure that's been with a lot of people.
Of course.
Y'all are paying subscriptions to be with them and to download your money, but what are people that are invested in that, what are they getting back? What do their sales figures look back so they can say, okay, well, this is going down 39%. This is going to cut I can't go buy no more bread or no more butter.
Right.
None of that type of stuff.
Well, we talk about that, too, because even with the music, even with those buying the music that we do put out, thank you for patronizing what we do. But I do want to make it clear that we're not able to then, therefore, pay the rent or our mortgage based on those downloads. It's never been like that.
No, never.
But that's not... Well, it's a given. That's not why we did it. But as a business perspective, we want to make money. So we want to make sure we understand how better to do this so that it's a little more advantageous for us to keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. Because, again, all these sites that host and hold, they're the ones making out like bandits.
Mm-hmm.
When you come to the reality of it, because when you look at how many, again, with these subcategories, how many people have paid
That's right.
to be in any one of those subcategories?
Well, it's public knowledge that a site like TrackSource, which is like a Beatport competitor, they take 40% of your earnings as a label. If you have a label and you release music, that's what they're taking. iTunes...
Just to put your money
uploaded. Right, that's right. That's why Bandcamp and other websites like that have become really popular because they take less of your dollar and they allow you the freedom to do a lot of different things.
And you can post your own music.
That's right. So, of course, for all of this and all of the latest of what we're talking about, let us know. Sound out and let us know. Go to freedomradiohour.com and add your comment and let us know what you think about the sales drop. And the thing about it is, we want to be about solutions here at Freedom Radio Hour.
Most definitely.
Definitely tune in next time because next time we're going to talk about what are the solutions around that. If we know that the writing's on the wall, we're not making money on the download.
Then what do we do?
What do we do? I'm going to talk about new products that are coming out that are worth your while. One thing is called Fanswell, a way to make possible you to tour around and make money by having house tours. That's right. You can go to someone's house, gather a fan base, charge money, and musicians are making more money than you can imagine using this idea.
Sound like a good old rent party to me.
Yeah, it does sound like a rent party, but guess what? The rent gets paid.
The rent get paid.
Right. So we'll talk about that and more here at the Freedom Radio Hour. Thanks so much for taking your time out, and keep it locked right here for the Honeycomb non-radio lunch break, and of course the Mixtape Sessions Masterclass following that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Peace out, Sudan.
Peace out. Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. Eddie Nicholas.
DJ Adam Cruz in the building. Peace, y'all.
Peace out.